What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again, and today we have another BFR on this Halloween day. Got my costume on, my Coyotes jersey. I've never worn this for Halloween, so I thought, why not bring out the Coyotes jersey? And so BFR Game 9 versus the Minnesota Wild was played at 6 p.m. last night on October 30th. Today is obviously October 31st, Halloween. The Hawks lose 4-3 in a shootout. They move to 4-3-2. They still get points. Ruse was in and Seth Jones was out because Seth Jones is out 3 to 4 weeks with a broken right thumb, which he played with. He got during the Buffalo game, and he continued playing throughout that game. Will be out 3 to 4 weeks, so I'll bid well to him and hope for a speedy recovery. Shots were 35 to 26 Minnesota. Hits were 28 to 15 Chicago. Faceoffs were 40 to 24 for Chicago. And on the power play, Chicago goes 0 for 0 because they never got one, and Minnesota goes 0 for 2. Stalock saves 32 out of 35. Fleury saves 23 out of 26. Let's start in the first. Joel Eriksson went hard into the boards. Then Reese Johnson had a big hit. Then at 17-14, it's a Chicago penalty to Murphy for tripping, which would be killed. And there was some shorthanded pressure by the Hawks there. Then at 13-21, it's a Chicago point shot goal from Jake McCabe's first of the season to give the Hawks a 1-0 lead from Lafferty and Tenorti. Then at 12:59, Minnesota responds 22 seconds later with a breakaway goal from Matthew Boldy, his fourth of the season, from Hartman to make it 1-1. Entwistle was denied, and then he kind of went into Fleury. And then there's a scrum because of it. Caleb Jones ate a puck. Duhaime slams Domi into the ground, and there was no penalty. Then at 9:08, it's a Minnesota goal by Mason Shaw, his first of the season, from Steele and Dewar to make it 2-1. And that was just Stalock having bad positioning. And we go to the second period, where at 14:24, it's a Chicago penalty to Tenorti and a Minnesota penalty to Hartman. They each get double minors for roughing. And Hartman was hurt during the little scrum fight they had. It was a fight. They didn't count it as a fight. And his wrist or shoulder slammed into the ground. You could see he was in pain. He left the game and did not return. Tenorti had a couple big hits that led to that happening. Then Kane was denied on a one-timer. Dickinson got away with a high stick. And then at 9:33, it's a Chicago tap-in goal from Jonathan Toews, his fifth of the season, as he continues to produce pretty well, from Kurashev and Ruse, who gets his, I believe it's his first NHL point, to make it 2-2. And we go to the third. There was not many notes to take in the first and second. And the third, well, some stuff happened to make sure it did it. So it was starting to get back and forth. McCabe missed the net. Duhaime was stopped, and then at 12:48, it's a Chicago penalty to Kachuk for tripping, which would be killed, and that was a pretty good kill. They were controlling the play. Good glove save by Fleury on Kachuk right out of the box. Then at 9:58, it's a Chicago danglicious, as I wrote, backhand goal from Andreas Athanasiou. That might be goal of the year to this point, his third of the season from Kane and Tenorti. Tenorti getting a couple of points tonight, so good for him. And it was a fantastic goal. He went in and out, around 1, around 2, and backhand over Fleury's shoulder. It was excellent. Then at 9:41, this time only 17 seconds later, it's a Minnesota one-timer goal from Matthew Boldy, his second of the season, or second of the game, fifth of the season, from Eriksson and Shaw to make it 3-3. So Stalock once again had horrible positioning on that one. Middleton then hit the post a little after. There's a scrum after Athanasiou was slashed, and there's no call. Lafferty had a big hit on Merrill. Then at 2:35, a ton of things happen. Kane is boarded by Tyson Jost, and Domi comes to the defense of Kane. So he drops the gloves and starts fighting Jost. So at 2:35, Chicago and Minnesota get penalties. It's Domi and Jost each get 2 minutes for Domi gets roughing, Jost gets boarding. They both get the 5 minutes for fighting at 2:35, so both Domi and Jost get 5 for fighting. But Domi gets a 10-minute game misconduct for the rest of the game, basically. And that was for the instigator penalty, which is stupid because it shouldn't be a crime to defend your teammate, and that's what the NHL makes it out to be, and congratulations, you once again blow a rule. So yeah, Domi's done for the game, and he got a standing ovation from the crowd and from the bench, and everyone online that I saw was applauding him for his actions. And after all that, at 2:35, after those technically five penalties, it stayed 5-on-5. I wrote good on Domi for sticking up for Kane. Team and crowd gave him a standing ovation. And there was a horrible icing call on Chicago, and then we go to overtime, where Minnesota players were tired, and the Hawks kind of just let them change, and they didn't get a shot on net that entire time. Addison went down hurt for Minnesota. He was able to get off the ice. Kane to McCabe missed. Zuccarello hit the post. Stalock saves a breakaway with a great leg spread. His leg spreads save. Radish to Caleb Jones just missed at the end of the overtime. So we go to a shootout, where the Hawks select to go second. Strangely, I haven't seen that in a while from the Hawks. Zuccarello went first. He was stopped. Then Taze was stopped. Kaprizov went backhand 5-hole. He scored. Kane was stopped. He doesn't do the fancy stuff like he did a decade ago. He just kind of tries to go 5-hole or to the side every time, and it doesn't fool anyone. And then Freddie Gaudreau gets the toe drag. Stalock tries to poke check, gets around it, shoots it on his backhand into the back of the net. It's a goal. Minnesota wins the shootout 2-0. They win the game 4-3 in the shootout. And that's really all I have for you guys today. The Hawks, from that win, they move past Colorado once again and move into third and technically second. They're tied with Winnipeg. They keep getting points and they keep moving up the board because of it. So that's how that's happening. In the Metropolitan, you have these 7 teams are all 2 points apart, so they keep changing. Devils are currently in first. Who knows how that's going to change? Toronto, obviously a lot going on with them right now. Steve Dangle lost it, say the least, and the hockey guy was even pretty adamant on this was unacceptable with a loss to Anaheim. But yeah, so as it's the end of the month, there's going to be the second power rankings of the season tomorrow. So I'm going to start working on that for tomorrow, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Happy Halloween.